we're going to talk about Saturn, specifically your Saturn return and what house it's in. What does it mean? My Saturn is in the 3rd house. Make sure you get your own natal chart. I'll post some links below so that you can find out what house your Saturn is in, and this video will make a whole lot more sense to you because you'll be able to say, so that's what it means. So for those of you who are new to astrology and don't even know what Saturn return is, make sure you watch my video on Saturn returns because I go into my experience with them and I also talk about what they mean and other stuff. So that might be really helpful. Your Saturn placement is going to say a lot about you and how you put your foot down, and also how you respect yourself. Do you even respect yourself? How do you show it? So for example, my Saturn is on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces, and it's in the 3rd house. If your Saturn is also in Aquarius and Pisces or on the 3rd house, make sure you check out that video on Saturn returns because I talk about what that means. As a reminder, they occur every 29 years, give or take. So at the ages of 27 to 31, you'll experience your first Saturn return. Then at the ages of 56 to 60 years old, you'll experience your second Saturn return. And then between the ages of 84 and 90, you will experience your 3rd Saturn return. When Saturn returns, it is an extremely pivotal moment for you in your life. It's like a cosmic rite of passage. And depending on its location in your chart, it will manifest differently. And today we're going to look at how your Saturn return can manifest in your chart based on the house it's located in. So if you're watching this and you are in between Saturn returns, this is a good way to reflect and maybe prepare for the next one because like I said, there are 3. You're not over it, most likely. There's going to be another one. Please keep in mind that it's very difficult to read something like this by itself. So make sure you look at the other placements when you're reading your chart as well. 8th house. 8th house. A house of transformation, sex, other people's money, and death. Spooky. During a Saturn return in the 8th house, they will be forced to act. But it will also challenge them to surrender and embrace letting go of control. They'll explore the journey instead of the destination. This, like I said, is the house of other people's money. And during the Saturn return in the 8th house, they might gain a lot of money or maybe lose a lot of money. Could go either way. Even if it's an inheritance or down payment or winning a lawsuit. It usually happens because of someone else. It's not like the 2nd house. It's more about like other people and external source, okay? It's also about becoming comfortable with their own skeletons, accepting that they have skeletons in their closet. They have baggage. Now they just need to like get over it and like get kind of come to terms with it. Be okay with it. They can't escape the past no matter how much they want to. So it's kind of about embracing their darkness, embracing their shadow side. Now, Saturn also represents our fears, and in the 8th house, it will force them to deal with fears and teach them to stop being afraid of being who they were meant to be. They might have to deal with financial changes and change their life for better or worse. They also become more profound during this time. They might try to hold on to people in their life because they're afraid of losing them. But their Saturn return is going to want to pry open their fingers. It's like, no, you have to accept that not everything is, permanent. And that people can just leave. And that's the way it is. That's life. People come and go. Saturn return in the 8th house really forces them to loosen their grip. They must become less rigid and open themselves up to possibility and change if they want to grow and blossom into who they are meant to be. The 8th house is also the house of death. And while I don't like to take things too literally, sometimes it can manifest that way during your Saturn return. If you have a Saturn return in the 8th house, you might be confronted with death or loss, some kind of loss, something very impactful happening to you that will really cause you to grow rapidly, because when you're faced with some kind of loss like that, And to overcome that, it changes a person, you know? And I feel like that's what Saturn return kind of is for you. It's like this overcoming intense loss or lack and gaining something from that. And so this can sometimes look like somebody actually dying in your life. And it also may be a time when they grow through like getting married or having children. It's crazy how much another person committing in our life can really impact us and change us. They'll learn a lot about themselves and their personal power. Intimacy is a major theme here. They might also decide to explore their spiritual side and deepen their connection to themselves. They might also learn to budget and save money during their Saturn return. A Saturn return in the 8th house can really transform someone's personality. There might be a time where they get into the occult or do psychic readings. They might experience some form of psychic awakening or really get in touch with their gifts. They might even get into witchcraft or manifestation. This is also going to be the time for them to figure out their fears, their anxiety, any anxiety they have around money or work, and resolving it. They might really benefit from therapy during this time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Remember, read everything together, get your chart. It's beautiful. It all works together so beautifully. And if you like my content, please subscribe. Toodaloo.